Okay, please can you share all of you? I think right now I'm just going to put us as public. We are going to, yes, just go ahead and please share. Thank you. So good evening, everybody. And welcome to the show, which is Shobhaa. If you can go ahead and just introduce, that would be brilliant. Thank you.
Awesome. Hello, everyone, and a very good evening to all of you. We welcome you all to our Society Behind Wow. I am your host and host, Shobhaa Arya, and with me is my dear friend, my dearest soulmate, my host, and our co host for the evening, Dr. Anu Mehta.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to this wonderful show, Society Behind Wow. This is a soulful journey of transformation of an individual and understanding the lifestyle and daily routine of the individual who's going to be talking to us, and to build a bridge between the gaps that are there in people's understanding so that they can help their lives can help us to cope up with their everyday hurdles. So basically, if you're having a hurdle out there, today we are going to be talking to Jan Zeiger and Alex, who are going to be talking about their lifestyle and how they have their daily routine and what they do every day so that they are successful. And if we probably could bring that in our life, we will be far more successful. Thank you. Over to Shobha.
Right. Thank you, Anu. So today we are at 14th April. However, from 13th April, just for Jans and Alex, okay, from 13th April onwards, we are celebrating auspicious days in India, in spite of this pandemic and keeping our spirits high. Yesterday in India, we celebrated a festival called Gudi Padwa, which marks the new beginning of Hindu calendar. This day is also celebrated around the nation with different names and different ways of celebration. And today, 14th April, is another festival called Vishu, which again is an auspicious day for people of India in the South India. So before we start this evening, Anu, uh, we would like to present to our guests a 2-minute video of our traditional Gudi Padwa dance by one of our fashion and dance choreographer, Avinash Payal. So let's play the video for you, Jans and Alex, and I hope you enjoy it.
There's there's a little bit of a goof up here, and the goof up is that, just give me a minute, please. I'm trying to handle too many things, so just give me a minute, and I'm going to share from my Facebook uh, rather than going on. So you will see a double of me. Okay. Okay, I think we'll have to restart again. I'm so sorry about this. Okay, why don't we start with the introductions, Shobha, so that by then I will search for the video because it just disappeared from my screen. And
Okay,
yeah, so that
sure.
happens
So,
in the digital world, and we all understand what can happen. So just give
right.
me a minute and just go ahead and you can ask the questions from Jan so that we can start with the show at least. Thank you. Meanwhile, I'm just going back to the history, and hopefully I will be able to capture.
Right.
Yeah.
So until Anu is busy finding the video for our esteemed guest, let's welcome Jan Zager. Jan
It's
Zager from Hamburg, Germany, is a holistic sound practitioner since 1984, and that's a long time. He is a sound musician specialized on the topic of cosmic octave, the science of order frequencies of nature. His teachings about integral psychosenetics are popular all around the world. Welcome to Society Behind Wow, Jans. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
so
According to the, yeah, Anu, you can go on.
I can right now put on the video for you if you want. I'm so sorry about this. I think we just need a little bit more of just a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jans, this is a beautiful dance that's organized by Shobhaa, by our amazing choreographer. So, just if we can take you through the.
गुढी पाडव्याचा सण आता उभारा रे गुढी नव्या वरसाच दिन सोडा मनातली आढी गेलं साली गेली आढी आता पाडवा पाडवा तुम्ही येरा बरी लोभ वाढवा वाढवा गुढी पाडव्याचा सण आता उभारा रे गुढी नव्या वरसाच दिन सोडा मनातली आढी अरे उठा झाडा अंग गुढी पाडव्याचा सण आता अंगण झाडून गेली राधी बाहेरून कसे पडले मुहूर्त असे निश्चयला वाणी हा म्हणता गेला रे राम पहार निघूनी आता पोथारा रे घर सुधारा रे पड झडी करी सन सारवन दारी उभारा रे गुढी पाडव्याचा सण आता उभारा रे गुढी नव्या वरसाच दिन सोडा मनातली आढी गेलं साली गेली आढी आता पाडवा तुम्ही येरा बरी लोभ वाढवा गुढी पाडव्याचा सण आता उभारा रे गुढी नव्या वरसाच दिन सोडा मनातली आढी
I hope you enjoyed that.
Oh, bravo.
Bravo. Very
Yes,
much.
Right.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
So, Jans, have you been to India?
We have crossed some parts being on the cruise ship, and I have many friends in India, and I had the pleasure to cooperate with classical Indian musicians like Swapan Bhattacharya from Calcutta. He lived in Hamburg. He has a traditional tabla school or school for classical Indian music, and I have a very good drumming friend in Rajasthan. And ever since in Hamburg, we have so much love for classical Indian music, and we supported Bollywood companies as well. So we feel very close connected, or I actually do. And yes, so it's
Great.
there's a huge space in my heart for India and Indian culture.
Thank you so much, Jens. I'm sure you must have enjoyed this performance as well, because
Yes.
the instrument that he is using, you must be aware of, it's called lazim. And of course, it's a very special dance for this festival called Gudi Padwa, which is celebrated across India, and it's a very auspicious day. So that was the little starting point of our conversation today, Society Behind Wow. So, Zan, we would like to understand about your childhood and the conception of sound in your life.
Hmm. So, well, there are different parts in my childhood, and so when I somehow became aware, or I was aware of my environment, so I had the luck to experiences in West Africa, in Liberia. So there was a very natural soundish environment, like the jungle, the birds, and even if there were some kind of heavy industries close by. So my first years happened in a very natural sound environment. And my parents, they loved music, popular music, and we went out on the countryside, and we have seen like musicians playing, drumming, African drumming. It was very much like in a fairy tale book. So this was the good part of my childhood, I would say. And then there was a switch because there was no more school in West Africa, so I went to back to Germany somehow on my own, and I was still young, I would say, was 11 years old, and then the soundscape like changed completely to
Oh.
the very strict soundscape of a boarding school. It was not as bad as you can imagine from a Catholic strong, like impact, but it was stressful enough to make me realize that something is going on and that is not good.
Sound was your calling.
Well, it was sound was my calling. They it was even later now I realized, and also being in the boarding school, that for example I was picking up a guitar and but not really playing the guitar. Well, I was playing guitar, but doing sounds gave me the possibility to be with myself, and whatever happened around me, I just could withdraw, and I had my stable place in my aura, in my space. And this was and now looking from today, I would even say that somehow saved my life in a way, because if I wouldn't have had the sound, I would have been more into reaction of things I don't like. So
Right.
the sound was a escape and a like a cave or of protection for me.
Okay. Jens, I would like to understand, since past 12 to 15 years, I'm into this field of alternate therapies.
Yes.
And the people whom I have met over the years with their experiences in their life, everyone has a particular experience in life because of which they get attracted to holistic healing or alternate therapies or something like that. So,
Mhm.
what was your story of getting attracted to sound? As in, what I would say is there's a story behind why you got connected to sound or to other healing modalities, correct?
Mhm.
Because according to what I feel, where astrology ends, spirituality begins. So when you give up on things, the only way out is spirituality. That's what I feel. So, is there something you would like to talk about on this? Do you have a particular story to share for the viewers so that they can understand what was it that attracted to you as a child into doing what you're doing currently?
Well, it was, well, when it happened, it took me some years, like that I consciously became aware of this, probably is called spiritual communication. So it is not just me doing something, being in my cave, but having like communication with something that comes from outside. Because in Germany there is no training for these things. If you have these kind of experiences, you're expected to go to hospital, right? And
Oh,
yes,
okay.
and then they will treat you. So you cannot even publicly claim or ask for help, because they would consider you as being sick
Oh,
in a
really?
yeah, damage. Yeah, that's and so when I was aware that I'm communicating, or something is communicating. So the good thing was, I had a friend, and he somehow the same thing happened to him. So we became kind of underground scene. And it just was, it was so we did spirituality really undercover in the backyards of little places where you had to sneak in. And so now, is today the night? Yes, are we going to do it? Meditation. Psst. You were like, shut down, no. But is it no? Psst, 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 so we were doing something that was not officially, let's say, accepted, so to say. And then we started to research first
Mhm.
because of our own experiences, and so, like, yes, the way I got into the sound healing or into the gongs was because I was asked to do it.
Mhm.
It's not that I thought of it or now I have a good business idea. No, it was an instant, very penetrating communication, which was very funny aspects. Now look at it now, because I was like resisting this communication, and
Right.
so I said, "Don't you have anything else for me?" No, look.
Okay.
So, but then when I did it, and from the first day on of my experiences, like having a sound studio, a
Uh-huh.
Klang house where I met people, got people in. And this was before before they, let's say, the spirituality somehow became popular with this term called New Age psychology, transformational self exploration. This was in the it it's well it's I've been in the beginning of it when it started in Germany. And of course it was very close connected with the spirituality of India. Like a lot of people went to India, went to Osho, or were disciples of, even before, of well, there were so many of, either is it Sai Baba, or
Mhm.
doing transcendental Maharishi Yogi with the Beatles. So this was opening up the space for young people. And then they said, okay, I don't care what the others say. Now let's go to India and let's live a spiritual life. And then people would say, President, no, it's dangerous. You will lose your soul. No, we will find our soul. There was a big confusion. And still today, um, it is somehow suspected, particularly by intellectual, more left-minded people, and it is not very clear. There's no overall agreement of what spirituality is in like particularly in Germany, in Europe. Although,
Many, if I may ask, still believe that the strictness that was there when you started your journey, that strictness is still there in Germany, or people have changed their way of looking at things in spirituality?
well, I'm afraid that somehow these days it's going separate ways. like like
Okay.
like again, it's not becoming one, it's becoming very much divided these days. Like you have, of course, some people that are completely aware of spiritual concepts, and they live their resonances and relationship to that. But at the same time, there is a huge movement where it is where you would be considered as too alternative. You are expected to be more conservative, following the what the government is handing out, and the way like the laws are changing these days. I didn't expect it that it would move that direction officially. I thought we are opening up the world to have love and peace all over, and so, but is somehow
Business.
for most of the people the opposite is somehow happening, and in this particular situation today, it cannot even say where it's going to.
Mhm. Thank you so much. Great it was hearing you, Jans. Jans, you're handsome, you're young and talented. And
Thank
I'm
you.
sure that you have your daily routine in place. So we would all like to hear what is your daily routine like and how do you start your day to keep your mind, body, and soul aligned? So it would be great to hear from you and help others to listen to your daily routine.
Mhm. So
Tell
now,
us from the time you have your bed tea to night when you go to bed.
so let us have let us have a let us have a real talk.
Okay.
Yes, or I mean, we can have a picture book image of a perfect day, and
Not a
there are
perfect
many
day, but
picture books of perfect day, right? And it depends. Honestly, it depends so much. So it depends on the jobs around. For example, if we are on the cruise ship working, which stopped for 1 year, we had a very strict timed routine where you hardly find a spot where you could, let's say, do your routines. And but so my perfect day these days is when I wake up, the first thing I do, I relax.
correct.
And
Absolutely great.
then I spend time, and this is so important, and this is my deep suggestion. I spend as much time as possible to memorize my dreams, because I believe in the night everyone has a direct connection with his spiritual, let's say, reality while you are sleeping. If you are aware of it or not, it's different. It differs, right? But I got a lot of inspirations from dreams. Like in the dreams, I would hear music, I would see instruments. So ever since, I have a very intense relationship with my dreams. So that's why I spend as much time as possible with my dreams. So, and then when it's a good day, then we have very luck. We have a great park outside. So like today was a good day. Then I go out, and then I say I know 48 special friend trees. I go to every one friend tree and say, good morning, my beautiful tree. I'm so happy to see you. How are you doing? And then
It's so
people,
excellent, Jans. You know, you're inviting so much of tree prana with you. So that is a life force energy which you're inviting at the beginning of the day. It's awesome.
yes.
Please continue.
And then after this is done, and if it's a good day, I can do it for 1 hour, and then I go back, and then I go into my bathroom palace. Oh my God. And then I do everything. Oh, I give my body a really good treat.
Great, great, great.
And then when
Superb.
this is done, I go to kitchen palace. And then I open the
Okay.
fridge and say, "Oh, what is today I can do?" And I say, "Mwah, mwah, mwah, mwah." And then I make good breakfast. But then,
Awesome.
but then already I am 1 hour too late. I get stressed. This is latest, but then I get stressed. But then I have
Okay.
my and then I have my timer. It's full every day, every week, and this is a very important tool that I like the day before. I have the important days. I know them before. This is why whenever Dr. Mehta calls me, I will be there always, because in my book it says, "Be connected with, be on the point with Dr. Mehta." You are in my book a couple of times, and this is going to be a good year. So and then when I have like some of the dates I have to prepare, for example, we have guests coming in. So then I fully focus on the guests, so that everything that they wish or need, so I can really focus. I'm in service for the for the things. And then in between, I have another book. It's my book of crisis. All my
Book
the
of
book of
crisis.
Yes, I have my book of disaster crisis. And
Wow, I've heard of gratitude journals and I've heard of forgiveness books, but Book of Crisis is something I'm hearing the first time. But let's hear more about it.
no, the thing is, there's nothing wrong about having a crisis as long as you are aware what is the structure of the crisis.
Absolutely.
So and then so that's why I have a book for manuals for all the different crises. So when the crisis is very strong, so that I'm not, well, there is a trick. If I don't follow this trick, then I cannot do my plan.
Would you like to share the trick with us as well?
I
And
say
I
no.
want to know very in particular, what is it that you write in the crisis book?
I like the structure. I analyze the crisis. So so what are dynamics?
Example, Jans.
Oh my God! This is Facebook. I'm telling it.
I mean, just a secret. I mean, just a short version of it.
well, like things that would help me to understand that I can differ my emotions from the. So when I'm in a crisis and I'm emotionally, then it's very difficult to organize the crisis. So, but when I'm aware of the aspects of the crisis, so I can react like engineering it, then it becomes more kind of practical. And the good thing is that I say no to the coffee, then I can handle it. This is very important, and this is what it took me years to realize, because sometimes I couldn't handle crisis. Crisis management is I think is very important, a part, well, at least of my routines, when you come into complex situation and what has to be done first, and what is the priority that you have to set. And this is when I have my books and I have the structure, and I point out what is the priority. Then it has a marked priority, then at least this is where I look first. And I would not
that is a very important point, though, because understanding what's going on in the world right now, it's very important to have things handy and to know what has to be done when and how.
Yeah.
So it's a very good share for us as well, Jans. Thank you so much for the share, and please continue.
Okay, and then after the first rush, then I tried to get cacao. I switched everything to cacao, from coffee to cacao, and maybe a little piece of apple cake.
Okay.
Yes, this is very important. And then, latest then I almost 1 hour I check all over let's say the news, like to be aware of the headlines. So before I decided to become a sound musician or sound therapist trainer, however, I was very interested in politics and in history. And but then when I was young, I made a decision not to go into it, because I felt that there is no way to live your vision in this structure, because it's all somehow set up, and it was not for me. And so I didn't.
Both are different paths. Both were different paths.
Yes, but still, like being in the like with the sound music, promoting sound music, sound healing, I feel it's very important that we are aware what is the overall situation where we are place our activities in. So we're supposed to be real, even super real. And it's very easy to make sound healing in a nice temple, but if you go somewhere in a space of crisis, or if you go into place where history happens, this is where the quality, if you have quality, or what your quality, let's say, could be, and or then where life will challenge you. And the way we teach people, or I teach people, is to be ready to function in crisis.
Absolutely.
So
it's very important.
And then after this, but when this is done and I'm fed up, then I take my guitar, and then I said, oh my God, my guitar. I said, so many crises. The world is so bad. What can poor Jens do? He has nothing he can do. That's why I sing, I love my life. That's why I sing, I love to be with you. Dr. Meta and Arya. And I don't care if anything is not going so well in the world, because I have music. I have music.
Awesome, awesome,
So then I
awesome.
practice, and and then when after practice, and then I still have some time, then I run to my singing class. I have a
Okay,
teacher. I go to singing class because I want to like in my next lifetime I want to become a singer. So I'm practicing now for my next lifetime experience.
awesome. That is great. That is great, Jans. Only you can do it, I'm sure. All right. And what happens after the singing class?
Then I have a lot of trouble again. I have some more crisis because I missed so many things.
Oh my
And then
God.
and then I have to somehow get some priorities, and so like and it was a process over years to make this kind of perfect day or something that's close to possible, like completely dropped TV, and now for 1 year it's very easy, before, on the way from the singing class back home, sometimes I might got lost in the bar, but
In the
now,
bar.
yeah, but
Okay.
now this is not possible anymore. So life supported me. All the bars are closed, so I come home safe.
Uh-huh.
And then what I usually
What
do then,
happens to the house bar?
the house bar is more like a temple. This is only when we have guests.
Okay, great.
This is
That
this
is
is
nice.
this is
Yes.
only for less for guests. Yes. Well, yeah. And then if possible, then there is more like, let's say, 2 hours software training,
Mhm.
because there's so many skills we need these days.
Right.
And I have music software, I have filming software to do. We have broadcasting, so many and collecting datas. And usually this gets me to the point then where I'm really, really tired. But then I realized that when I do it too long, then I
Mhm.
cannot have a perfect day the next day. So at a certain point, now I force myself. Now I stop. Now the day is done.
Okay. It is great to hear you, Jens. And there were so many things of learning from you. So you are basically upskilling yourself with softwares. You are doing multitasking by singing. You are taking life force energy from the trees, which is, I don't think 1 out of 100 people might be doing this or might not even be doing this. It's a very rare thing. And it's a very good thing, I must say. This is something what our focus of society behind wow is. So there are physical activities which everybody does, but going to the trees and hugging them, that makes you energetic throughout the day and in high spirits. Do you agree?
Yes, yes, well, I do it because I love to do it. Yeah, it's not a concept. It's a.
Right, right. Thank you so much. Now, before we go over to Anu, your Miss Meta, let me just ask you one more last question, and then we go over to Anu.
Yeah.
So, what, according to you, Jans, is this pandemic teaching us from the year 2020 until now, with all these things going across the world? So, what is the universal message for a human being you think that the universe is trying to convey?
Slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. Absolutely agree. And now over to Anu. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Jans, for your great insights.
Mhm.
And you're spending your day very well. We'll come back to you after we finish with Alex.
Mhm.
Hi, Alex. And thank you, Jans. I'm going to say something in Hindi. मेरा सबसे which I meant to say, my very nice friend, Jan Zeiger. And thank you so much for being there, just being yourself. You added a smile to my face today. I was a de-stressor, complete de-stressor. Hi, Alex.
Stress, stress buster. Jans, you're a stress buster for Anu today.
Hi, Alex. I met you about 2.5 years back, if I'm correct.
One and a half, I would say.
Huh.
2019.
Yeah. And I remember it being a very nice meeting. And the, you're actually beautiful partner of Jan Zeiger. And so your contribution and presence here today really means a lot. Could you take us back into your childhood and tell us a little bit about your childhood? But before you do that, if you can introduce yourself, what you do, what's your passion all about, that would be brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anu. And yes, I'm happy to be with you all. Um, well, what I'm doing, this is the most difficult question because I do so many things. And I did so many things during my life. I would say I some kind of multi something. And
Mm-hmm.
right now, or let me say, when we met, I was traveling with Jens all over the world and organizing our teachings for sound healing and the cosmic octave and organizing our cruises on AIDA, where we also did the sound work and give and brought it to people who never heard anything about that before. So like pioneers in a very new segment. And so our mission was to bring this kind of sound work all over the world, and I tried my best to support Jens in doing this because I feel he is the best person to bring it and to teach it. So I support everything that this can go, this is possible, and so I enjoyed this yeah, many years, 6 years, 7 years, all over the world, very very much. And then the last trip was around the world, and then it stopped with the pandemic. So, but Jens is a very spiritual person. So 3 years ago, he also found a biological system which really enhanced our health. So when all these changes started, I started to work more in this field and got knowledge, more and more knowledge in this, and started to spread it out and give it to other people because I thought it's so important to have a good immune system in a time like we have now, because I think this is the most prevention we can have. And it worked so well with the sound healing because it made it more sustainable. So my work shifted more to learn about all the um, medicine, how you say, how the body works, how the product work in the body, and how I can teach partners to work well. So this was the last 1.5 year, how my work shifted to this. And now it starts to mix everything again. So this is very nice for me, and I feel very privileged to have such a work where you can give people a better well-being. Let's say this.
Thank you so much. And Alex, I know it's for you, speaking in English can be a challenge, and you're doing such a beautiful job. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
thank you.
Heard stories about you and driving a mobike and moving around and the adventure side of you. Why don't you make people aware of that you have such a amazing adventure side to you? It's not just traveling across the world. It's not just spreading about the music and so beautifully helping yarns. And I could see love between you two, and that means a lot. You don't see love today between people. You see a lot of silence and hate and tolerance, but love, the way I saw between you two, either it must be uh, the music, or it must be the nutrition that you guys have been up to. But whatever it was great. So my question, can you take us back to the time when you were actually on the adventure side, and can you make us familiar with that? And my second question to you is, what do you both do that you can kind of hold the love together? Thank you.
I'm not sure if I really understood the first question. From what time you speaking?
It was much before you met Jans, I think. You were talking about how you had an adventure side to you, and you used to like being on a motorcycle, and you would move around. And much before, I think you met Jans. If you can, that part of yours when you were talking about it really caught my attention. Thank you.
Do you mean where I drove from Hamburg to Kathmandu overland?
Yes.
With a truck. With a truck, I did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you tell people about a woman driving a truck from Hamburg to Kathmandu? Can you talk about your experience? Thank you.
That's a long journey, though.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's
Alex.
possible. Yeah. Let me go to when I finished school.
Mhm.
I started to meet people who had been in India and who were with all these ideas. So I found this very attractive, and I felt it is so interesting to find out why I'm here on Earth.
Oh,
And
okay.
before I had no idea why I'm here, what I'm doing, because when I finished school, I had no idea what to do.
Mhm.
So I just looked around. What can I do? Let's see what will I find. And I did some modeling jobs. It
Mhm.
started with that, and I had these friends who were spiritual interested, and I got this attraction. So I got more and more into the scene, and I met people who did this traveling from Hamburg to Kathmandu. That was a famous route, and
Mhm.
this in Kathmandu was the only place where you could sell a truck
Mhm.
legally. So um,
So,
then
how
I
did you
thought,
travel? I mean, from Hamburg to Kathmandu, how was the travel? As in,
interesting, absolutely interesting. First of
that
all,
must be a one of life experience, I guess.
absolutely, it was my dream. I thought, what do you want to do? Okay, do this. So I organized myself with two friends. We built a truck you could sleep in, what you need to go, and then we left. And just took our way like all the others before, because this was I knew many people who did this before. So it was
Okay.
for me, it was a challenge I wanted to do in my life.
So,
And
what did you do after going to Kathmandu?
hmm,
After
excuse me,
reaching Kathmandu, what did you do there?
when I was in Kathmandu, I
Uh-huh.
had to stay 6 months to sell the truck, because it was the last trip from Hamburg to Kathmandu that was possible, because
Okay.
at that time Japanese trucks started to come to Kathmandu, and they
Uh-huh.
thought, oh, we take a new truck, not an old truck.
Oh,
So it was
okay.
very difficult, and actually I was the last uh, truck that came from Hamburg to Kathmandu. Yes. And
Wow.
Mm.
a lot of challenges. I drove through the Iranian war,
Mhm.
and yeah, it was very interesting, and it gave me the feeling that you can do everything if you want to, and just have the courage to start.
There's
Wow.
always time.
Yeah, and that kind of like music to my ears. And I'm sure people who are listening on the Facebook, just hear her. She just wanted to live. She just wanted to experience. And she didn't think, she did it. And this is something that if you can bring in our life will be different. We spend so much time thinking that we don't do. And this is the lady in front of me. And who better than, her better half is sitting right here who plays music, and she lives life at her own terms. So this is something that we need to kind of get. So second question is, what keeps the love alive between you two? What keeps you going? You both going together. Thank you.
that you can laugh together. And Jens always brings me to laughing. No way. Even if we really struggle sometime, and then suddenly I need to laugh, and then everything is good again.
How nice. How beautiful. Would you like to say something to Jans right now, which could then tell him how much you care for him? I really appreciate that.
In German or in English?
Doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable in. The language of love is always heard.
Universal language.
Hmm?
It's a
It's a,
universal language.
Jens, you are not only my love, you are like my teacher every day, and without you, I would never be what I'm now.
oh my God, oh my God. And Jans, how would you answer her back?
Well, this is everything we live wouldn't be possible without you. Everything we created together, and I'm every day I'm very thankful that you are sharing your strength and your being with for me and for our wonderful life. Thank you so much.
Can you believe these two people are such beautiful friends of mine, along with Shobha? And when friends get together, if they can spread love, what can be better than that? Alex, if you can take me through your life, just like Jans did about your daily routine, that would be brilliant. I mean, how do you spend your day? Like from the time that you get up to you retire, what do you really do that makes you feel, because you're somebody who likes to live life, what do you do on everyday basis that you feel you're living your life, your routine?
Sometimes I get in conflict with Jens because I'm absolutely different.
I love that.
So when I get up, I'm doing a lot of things here and there, and everything that comes in my mind, I think I have to do now. And I stop myself in the first routine. I have hot water. That is the first thing that I drink in the day, and if possible, I like to speak a few things with Jens to start the day. And then and this I developed it through the pandemic, because before, when we were traveling so much, it was difficult to get to routines. And now when I'm in Dubai, I could stick to the routine because it took it a long time now. So I am a Shakti dance teacher. I learned this in 2008. And this is a style of yoga which is very flow in fluent asanas. And I have my routine every morning. So I awake my body by stretching and doing this yoga asanas for half an hour, and this gives me a lot of power to also to be aware in my body.
Wow.
And
And then how does the day follow? After you finish your exercise, what is the
so,
next thing that you do? As in
of
your
course,
daily routine. Of course, there are some changes in all.
bathroom
Oh,
breakfast
yeah.
is normal, and but to be honest, my most work, I love to work, and my most work is in front of the computer,
Okay.
and that's where I spend my day. And um, I take my little times out, and I got a very nice routine from Jens. And this I have to practice about every 2 hours. We have it's called a rainwater stick. That is a column where you have it's like rainwater, but it goes by itself for 7 minutes. So I put it, turn it around, and it starts. So I do my breathing and aligning. So I get back to me, and then I can go back to work.
Okay.
This is a
All
very
right.
good routine and very, very effective.
Mhm. So, can you just give us a little more insights, Alex, on this rainwater therapy that you were talking about? How is it done?
This is just an instrument. It was
Okay.
invented I think in Czechia, and it's distributed in Germany. And it is
You will get
maybe Jens can get it. It is absolutely beautiful because you know this rainwater, this rain sticks, so you can turn around, but this you
Mhm.
don't need to turn. It goes all the time the same, like itself. So
Okay.
also it's very nice when you use in a sound healing circle,
Mhm.
because you don't always need to do something. You have something that does music by itself. But it's also so good to practice.
can you hear it?
Can you hear?
Lovely, Jans.
That's the one.
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, it's so soothing to the ears. And of course, this time with this ear sound in the ears, if you have to meditate, I'm sure it's going to be an awesome experience in itself.
But
Absolutely.
but it's even possible to use it in the office for a break. Such 30
Absolutely.
minutes to align again, to
Uh-huh.
breathe, to be there, to stretch.
Mhm.
So this is very, very effective. And
So,
so a little thing can make a lot.
absolutely.
Or you
Anu,
can also take a singing bowl and have it for a few minutes and align yourself. So there are many
absolutely.
options.
So since
Wow.
you sit, Alex, so many hours on the computer at a stretch, so how do you manage to kind of take a breather between your work at your chair where you're sitting in front of the computer? How do you take time off a few seconds or a few minutes just to do a quick relaxation? Because the rain sticks are not available, the tongs are not available, you know. So
But sound
immediately,
books
if you
are
need to
relevant.
relax and regenerate, how do you do that?
Um, actually, it is not necessary that I do anything else than from time to time have a break. Of course, I have my lunch break,
Mhm.
and take this time and try to be there concentrated on the food and not on anything else. And if possible, in the evening, this is the time where I'm going out for a short walk.
Okay. So basically, you are taking care of your health in some way or other, in fact, in a better way with rain sticks and with meditation and with walks and also with your yoga and breathing exercises, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Awesome. Yes, over to you, Anu. And after that, I would like to ask both of them a combined question.
Of course. So, thank you for that, Alex. And I know I've heard the rain stick, and it's so beautiful. It just adds everything. And just for people to know, Jan Zeiger has been my teacher for sound, so I'm very lucky to have learned under him. And Alex has always been there as a supporting every one of us. She's a very good at holding people together. Alex, what do you think this pandemic is teaching people right now? Because there's so much happening. One country closes down, that other country opens up, and by the time you really know, there's another country closing down. As we speak today, kids in India are getting COVID, and there are, I don't know how many people dying in Mumbai right now because of COVID. In my very blocks that I'm there, I have about 29 people in the other block who have got COVID. Yes. So life seems very, very dramatic right now. And what would you say is COVID doing to all of us? What's the learning for us?
Very difficult to say because it's different for everybody. But what I would think, um, what can we learn from this? Mm, not to be in fear, because this makes it even worse. But how can I get out the fear when I'm absolutely in? What I learned in my life when I really got stuck in something and I did not know how to get out, I realized that every minute I can make a new decision. I'm
Wow.
able to make a new decision, and I can change my life from one minute to the other. And I can start to think, okay, what can I do now? And start to do it.
Wow. Wow. You really have an amazing philosophy in your life. Over to Shobha. She wanted to ask a question to both of you. Thank you.
Yes. So, Alex, hearing you now and what you said is starting new life every minute. Okay. Everything that you want to do, you start with. So, do you agree that people, of course, there is a universal message right now with the current situations and the planetary positions as it is going on in the astral sky. But having said that, I want to know, do you believe in collective consciousness?
Of course.
You do? All right. So, do you agree that every human being needs to start somewhere holding each other and bring a collective consciousness on Mother Earth? Because Mother Earth is trying to teach us something, right?
I would say everybody who is aligning himself or herself with the good that is in life, that gives an impact. And if
Absolutely.
I play the gong, I play it not only for me, I play it for everybody.
Correct.
It's my intention how I connect and how I deal with people. And when I cannot do it with a big group, I can do it with the next person I meet.
Absolutely. So the same question for Jans. Do you believe in collective consciousness, and how do you perceive about uh, all of us living in oneness, irrespective of which country, which nation, what religion, what color, irrespective of all of that, we need to coexist, we need to live in oneness, and we need to grow in oneness. Do you agree?
Well, yes, of course, because this is what the situation is, and so so there are but there are many possible thoughts. Of course, this is such a huge question or concern or topic. So, and there is one particular thought that maybe is not so, I don't know, it's I will try to share this particular thought with you. If
Mhm,
you look at a vibration
mhm.
from the physics of a vibration. So you have the vibration like the amplitude, the like is going up and is going down, right? This is how the way we imagine a vibration. So we
Correct.
have times of up and times of going down. So now, what is known from the physics, if a vibration is on the top of its peak, so for
Mhm.
example, the top of the peak of a collective consciousness could be like the overall global super capitalistic consume situation where everything is expanded to the max, so it cannot go further,
So
right?
it has to come down.
So the wave is going down, but now something very interesting happens. So when a sound wave travels in a liquid medium, or
Mhm.
for example, a body is basically water, we all know this. So on the top of a vibration, there are little like quantum spots, they
Mhm.
will stay up.
Right.
And whereas the most goes down, then still a new vibration stays up.
Mhm.
So
Correct. Yeah,
so
it's a beautiful explanation, I'm sure. It is right. What you said is absolutely true, that we have on Mother Earth reached to the peak of the frequency, and the frequency is changing. Now, it's time for the change, and we need all of us need to adapt to this change and be ready to adapt this change, right?
well, these days there's always these from the perspective of the integral sound work is let's say the nature somehow itself is already set up in a most perfect way. The nature overall, of course, somehow is affected from doings of this collective dynamics, but nature is the nature. Like cultures will go, and it happened ever since. So it is. Uh, so the frequencies actually are the same all the time. It is just simply that we are opening up to more of the spectrum, and this is the challenge that I see everybody has. And people, if they are not say, okay, if you are say today, no, I'm not going up, I will try to be more strict, I will have more regulations, I think we need a super fascism controlling system to overcome this situation, and they will know, they will not, this person will not open up. So, and then if you would speak to this person and say, well, come on, you have to open up, you will not you will not even understand what you're talking about. So you would just let him go, and just be aware or know there is there, but then go back to music and practice waving.
Correct. So one last question to both of you, and then over to Anu. What do you understand by society behind wow? Yes.
When I first saw the title, I was so impressed. I said, what a fantastic title is that? And then even before I got the question, I said, oh, I want to know. I'm sure it's something about futuristic. It's better than better. It's the essence of the best. It's something that is, like it's impressing because it's so super real and authentic and powerful. And I said, I want to be part of that for sure.
Thank you so much. What about Alex? What do you think about society behind wow, or what do you understand by society behind wow?
Yeah, Jens already said that the title is amazing. And when I saw it the first time,
Mhm.
wow is the best. What we think, oh my God.
It's wow.
So something real big, and society behind. So what brings you to this wow? That's how I understood it. And that's what I now found, that you want to share knowledge, that people get more ideas, how they get
Absolutely.
to her personal wow.
See, from today's learning, what I would like to share, Alex and Jens, okay, what I have gained, and I'm sure a lot of viewers have gained, is you embracing the tree, which is an awesome act you're doing on everyday basis. People don't even do that once a month, and you're doing it on everyday basis. Isn't that amazing? Because how many of us, we are living in a very practical world, we are not connected to our soul, and this connection comes only with life force. It comes only with prana. And you're doing that every day, embracing 10 and more trees. I mean, more than an hour or so you're spending with nature. That is just amazing. Amazing. From Alex, what we have learned is every day is a new start. So you don't only think, it's not time to think. It's what you think, it's time to act, is what I have learned from you. And I'm sure a lot of viewers must have gained a lot of other insights from your stories. So over to you, Anu.
So, Alex, one last question from me to both of you. And then I would really like it if you can play a little bit of sound for everybody in the audience, because I really feel sound heals, and Jans can speak, go on speaking on it, but we would like to hear him more than speaking.
Mhm.
So the question is, what really is love? And I hear so much about self love, so much about people talking about self love. Personally, I feel people don't understand what it means. I don't think people have understood the word love properly. What, according to you, love means? Thank you, Alex.
Mm, love is in everything what you see. You decide if you see love or not.
Yes, absolutely. And how do you decide? How
How
does
I decide. For example, when the sun is coming like a little raw into the room, I
uh-huh.
can feel the love of what is coming here. I can feel the love of beauty, of everything. So it is always how I set my focus. I can
Wow.
see the good things or I can see the bad things, and I can decide what I want to see. We have
Correct.
it. We have an
Absolutely right.
we have an expression in Germany. Maybe it's the same in India. I don't know. It's always the wolf that is feeded in you.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Correct.
And Jans, what according to you is love? And is there a concept called self-love? Do people really follow that? And what is love? I love the
Oh my
way.
God. Really, Jans?
Asking what is love, I can give no answer. You have to feel it by yourself. What is love? What is love? Love is in the air, love is all around, love is music. Ukadukali man love in a go, I love is with you, I make a happy in night too.
Awesome,
Happy,
Jans.
happy, happy
Awesome.
love for you. Ooh.
Wow. My soul feels happy.
Awesome. Awesome, Jans. Awesome. And thank you so much for bringing so much love to us. It was really, really very pleasant to hear that. Very pleasant.
You so
Thank you.
much for spending the time with us, for giving us the
Well,
opportunity to community. It's been
thank,
beautiful.
thank you, Jans. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for this wonderful evening. And thank you for sharing your daily routines and helping us improve by each passing day and take inspiration from you all. Thank you, Anu, for being the lovely co-host, and thank you so much for making this special evening for us. Thank you. Stay blessed, stay happy, and stay safe. Love you.
Namaste.
Thank
Bye.
Bye
you. Love
bye.
and love you, Shobhaa.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So much.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Till I see you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.